going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings defense has been a lot of fun through 2 games. Game 1, yes, it's the Giants. Game 2, the 49ers look pretty damn good. So the Vikings are getting after things. They're top 10 in most statistical categories, and they're not 10. Right, and rising and growing and showing, and they've shown that this is a true team defense, and they're swarming after things. They're rallied to the football. They're playing team defense, selfless defense, and they're playing fun, fast, and free. And it is a ton of fun, man. It is absolutely a pleasure to watch how this defense has come together, especially that front seven, especially the pass rush under Brian Flores, and it's glorious, man. It's just really, really good. He fed the local media jackals on Tuesday, talking about the Niners win, looking ahead to the Houston Texans coming into US Bank Stadium on Sunday. And he had some stuff and some things to talk about. So there's a lot. First off, great team win. Good preparation, physical ball game, team defense, all that stuff. Like, I feel like Vikings coaches are about like 90% cliches, but they aren't afraid to actually give you something. Which is good. Also gave props to the fans, loud and proud, even though about 40% of the stadium was red. Happens, man. But he talked to the new players and the rookies that you got to be prepared. It's going to be loud in that environment. And you could definitely tell that the defense fed off that energy. Third and fourth down, where the Niners were held to 2 of 10 on third, 1 of 3 on fourth. Flores gave all the players all the props. Players win games about execution. And I feel like it's really easy for like play callers on both sides of the ball. It's like, it was a perfect call. Now always give the players the credit and then take 100% of the blame in public. Pass rush is a major part of it. And also what's great about it is that it's not just one guy, right? This is not a TJ or a Myles Garrett situation. Like, you don't have one guy playing hero ball or maybe even Danielle Hunter last year, but it is a gaggle. It is a platoon. It is everyone getting after that ass, which is great to see, man. Patrick Jones second, played lights out. And he talked about the sacks, but he sort of downplayed it, even though he says that obviously the sacks are fantastic. But PJ, too, being a complete, well-rounded edge rusher, great in the run game, had a big third down stop against the run as well. And that's how Jones has really progressed. I mean, the sacks can be fleeting, but I'm glad that he's racking up and stacking up for leading the team, leading the league. Well, not the league because of stupid Aiden Hutchinson, but it is about the pride of Pitt becoming a true blue 3-down edge rusher. Also, Stephon Gilmore, his signing, giving flexibility to the defense, opens up the playbook. And even though the Vikings have played a lot of zone so far through 2 games, him and Shaq Griffin being press man specialists does give you flexibility of what you want to do week to week against whatever offense you're facing. Are you going to sit and play zone? Is Gilmore going to travel with other teams' wide receiver 1? Plus, Gilmore having some experience with Flores as well as being a true pro's pro. The instincts, the smarts, the experience help him get up to speed right away. He signed with 1 week left in the preseason. Also, it talks about mentorship to the younger corners. Talks about how he prepares for the game, how he watches film, how he does all these things. And for the young guys, guys like Blackman, guys like Caleb Evans, like this does matter. And it's amazing that they basically have an extra coach in that cornerback room. And then he was asked about off-season personnel moves, how much input he and the coaching staff had, and a lot of it. Like, it was a shared vision. Said they really appreciated what Kwesi and the personnel department did with the defense this year. They went through, self-scouted, built a vision, and then brought the vision to Kwesi, and just like, this is a great line. Hey, if we have Andrew Van Ginkel, we can do this. If we have Blake Cashman, we can do this. If we have AVG and Cashman, we can do this. It's really good. And the Vikings, I mean, a lot hasn't been made about the Vikings just completely changing over this defense. Bringing in Van Ginkel and Grenard and drafting Turner, and also bringing a guy like Hottie Ward, Cashman as well, Gilmore, Shaq Griffin. So Jerry Tillery. I mean, there's been a lot of change on this defense, and to have it come together so well, so early, it's a good sign. Also, pretty cool to see the defense come to light. Pretty cool to see this defense come together. Also, so with Cashman, he had some interesting scouting insight from a place you wouldn't expect. So Mike Sherrills, brother of Marcus Sherrills, was a great coach for the Gophers before he had to retire due to health issues. But random meeting. So Flores and Sherrills' kids go to the same school, and they were hanging out. And Sherrills, with no agenda at all, just brought up as hey, one of my best players on the Gophers was Blake Cashman. Right, and Cashman ended up being a free agent. He's coming home to the place where he belongs. And it is glorious, man. Plus, talking about so the Vikings have gone from 51% blitzing last year to about 12.6% this season. Well, let me check that. 12.9. I was way off. But either way, they've greatly reduced their blitzing percentage, but they have upped up the percentage of games. So you see it. TNA. Should be TNA, but TNE stunts, twists, and all that stuff up front. And the Vikings have made, a number of the sacks and big-time tackles for loss have come off of those stunts up front and taking advantage of the space that the offense gives them. And the players have autonomy to make those calls on the field. And Cashman, him being the leader, being the green dot guy, has called a number of them. And obviously, Flores can't do that in real time as the sideline communicator cuts off, and also being on the field with the speed and everything shifting, sometimes you get an opportunity. And the Vikings, that's what's great about leadership and communication, even in a loud environment. Like you can get things going on the field on the fly, and the Vikings definitely took advantage of that over the last 2 games. And Flores, he's a humble guy. Obviously, he has high standards and he's demanding, and he tells everyone that they suck all the time. But he had a great line. It's not my defense, it's theirs. And you look at some defensive minds throughout the league, do they actually believe that? Or do they think it's their defense and the players are just like chess pieces that they move around? But I love the humility but confidence, that Flores exudes on a daily basis. And coming up with the Texans, all the praise of C.J. Stroud, called him a rising star. The arm is great, pocket awareness, tough to bring down, plays like a veteran. And also the Texans have receiver after receiver after receiver with Nico Collins and Diggs and Tank Dell. It's going to be all over the place. And it is similar to the Niners in terms of star power all over the place, as well as there is some offensive scheme crossover. Bobby Sloak as the Texans OC from the Shanahan tree, but it's going to be a huge challenge either way on Sunday. And then, so it kind of irks me when the coordinators always ask about Kevin O'Connell because they usually say the same thing. But Flores gave a little bit more insight. So O'Connell commands every single room that he's in, has high expectations, but when he's not happy. Like, he's going to let you know. No, O'Connell gives off this Ted Lasso positivity vibe whenever he's on camera in front of the media and mic'd up on the sideline. But Flores said he has a little bit of a dark side, and I like it. That's great, man. With the receiver documentary, when Kevin O'Connell was chewing out the team for fumbling the ball against the Eagles, it's just like, maybe that's a side of Kevin O'Connell that we don't necessarily see when the cameras aren't rolling. But both sides are needed, carrot and stick. And Kevin O'Connell, I feel like Kevin O'Connell has a great emotional intelligence. He has a great understanding of people and situations. I think he's good at reading people and situations, and that's exactly what you need as a head coach. It's beyond X's and O's, and it's beyond just managing a game and a playbook and an offense. It's about managing people, and I think Kevin O'Connell's good at that. Also, Hottie Ward. So loves Hottie Ward being around. Hottie's got a great personality, big-time smile, cracks jokes all the time. Versatile, is a leader out there, can rush inside, outside. It's gorgeous, man. Also talks about how Hottie needs more snaps. But also, I mean, who do you rotate out? Like, this is what's great, is that the Vikings, knocking out all the wood, have defensive depth for the first time in a long time. That's a big time. Props to Kwesi and the defensive coaching staff for getting these guys in there and fitting them in to specific roles. And Hottie Ward, Flores was asked, like, are vibes important? And he immediately said very important, because this is a high-pressure, high-stakes league, and jobs and legacies are on the line. And having someone like Hottie Ward in there to crack a joke, cut the tension at times, it's important. And I think it speaks to the locker room vibe, the locker room culture that they built here. And it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn fantastic, man. So, I mean, this defense keeps rolling along. It's beautiful to see. And we had said all the Vikings need to do is be top 10 offense, top 10 defense, and special teams don't kick us in the nuts. Maybe that's underestimating this team. Who knows, man? But Brian Flores fed the local media jackals on this beautiful Tuesday. We had some thoughts on his thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. Comment section. You know what to do. Skull production value.